had no other option than to put my hands above my head and say, "Tranquilo, hombres, por favor, calm down."
Okie dokie, welcome to episode 13.
Yeah, episode 13. Nice. Good to have you back.
Yeah,
It's been about.
We have taken a little bit of a break due to busy schedules and stuff like that. But you won't notice that really. But
Yeah, we haven't. We had a few. Yeah, we just couldn't get together, could we, in the last little bit of time? But we've had a couple of nights out, haven't we?
We had last night.
You just told me you were nearly sick.
I actually did get sick.
Oh, you were sick?
Yeah.
And I was nearly sick a few nights ago.
I luckily it happened in the car park of my compound, not in the building. Although I did do it in the building once before, but I did go back downstairs and clean it up myself.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I just felt like,
that.
why would you leave that for somebody to clean? Like, it's fucking disgusting.
Are you? Because I'm amazed. You said you were walking and then you were sick. Because if I'm being sick, that's me finished. Like I can't. You know, I'm probably like lying down or something like that.
Oh no, it cleans me right. I actually, in a way, I hate it. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the lead up to it is more.
It doesn't happen that often to me, but after it, I feel way better. Like,
I suppose.
Because I was getting that, the dizziness and stuff. I had gotten 2 beers too much last night, to be honest with you, so.
Yeah. All right, so should we crack on?
Yeah, just a quick thing. I'll mention it again throughout the podcast. There will be some changes after this one. We listened to the feedback that we got, and some people were asking us to have more of an audio version that they can listen to headphones at work. But because of YouTube, you can't close your screen. You can't turn off your phone unless you get YouTube Premium, which who the fuck wants to pay for that? So some people are looking for a more audio version. So we're going to try and do the podcast will be only audio on. It will still be available on YouTube, but we're going to try and put it on one of these podcast hosting sites. We haven't decided yet which one. But then we're going to take the more visual ones like Snacks Unknown and social media review and stuff and make them into separate videos where you'll actually see us. You'll see our big ugly mugs. So
we've decided to release ourselves out into the world.
Yeah. They should be fun as well. So. But anyway, you'll see that in the next few weeks anyway.
So yeah, look out for that. And I guess that's when the fan mail will start.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Cool. All right.
All right. So first section is Room 101. I think my one last time was what was it? TV shows.
Yeah.
In general. Yeah. So
I got a mate of mine texted me the other day. He heard your one where you put he's Irish, but where you put the live music, and he was like, "What's wrong with that fella? Is there something wrong with that fella?"
I told you. People get. I know it's like a very it's a very polarizing thing. I told you when I brought it up. I said. Most people would say, what the hell's wrong with you? Why
and I kind of tried to defend you, going, I know, but he's on about it. And he's like, I know what he's on about. But,
exactly.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
That's what I'm saying. And that does not surprise me at all. That reaction doesn't surprise me at all. No offense to that dude.
He doesn't give a shit. He's from Kilkenny, but Kilkenny is a good town for drinking and they have pubs, so there will be a lot of live music and stuff so.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it, that's for sure.
I'll be alright, I guess. Alright, anyway, your Room 101. Go.
Okay, well, this one's coming a long time. I think this is going to be no surprise to anybody, really. But I think it's about time we bang these motherfuckers up. The mainstream media, basically.
Oh.
I think the world doesn't need them anymore now. The problem with the media is they're either funded by, I guess in China's case, they're funded by the government, right? That in itself brings some issues. In the West, then they're funded by, millionaires or whatever who have a hidden agenda. So all their stories will be twisted to meet their narrative, or their opinion or whatever else.
What about the BBC?
That's funded by the people, basically, isn't it? That's through TV license money, but they don't. they're kind of like RT News in Ireland is RT News. They're not funded by the government, but they're so pro-government, so it doesn't matter no matter what the government are doing there, you agree with them, you know what I mean? And no, I think I've seen 3 to 4 cases where the BBC have been exposed as like making up stories, like bullshit and stories, so I don't believe them anymore. I think there's plenty of other places to get, like YouTube and stuff. There's some decent people on there that, like, investigative journalism is not a thing anymore now. Where it's very rare where a person actually goes like spends months researching a subject and then reports on it. Now they look at somebody's Twitter and they report on what the person said on Twitter.
I hate that.
That's not journalism. That's copying and pasting a fucking screenshot of something. Like it's.
Well, when I see a headline that says like comment or post causes outrage on Twitter, and then they'll like
that's all they're doing now.
And then they'll quote like 2 people saying this is disgraceful. I'm like, that's not. Is that outrage? I don't know. Is it? But 2 people said I didn't really agree with it.
I know it's like you're free to do whatever the fuck you want, but like surely somebody should have, like the likes of Donald Trump, like they should just go, you're not writing your own fucking tweets. We're going to get somebody to write and post them, because literally a dude like him could start a war by saying something stupid, like, do you know what I mean? But anyway, like that's not reporting. The other thing is, basically, if I had my way, I think that before you publish a story, you have to know that the story is 100% true. So you have to have evidence. It's like going to court. You have to have evidence to back it up, just in case somebody goes, no, I don't believe you, but or says, no, that's not right, or whatever else. But what's happening now is they'll publish a story, and it might be complete lies and bullshit, but then all they have to do is like retract it like 2 days later and apologise about it.
Yeah,
but it's still there. Like
the damage has been done on it.
It's already done. Like it's too late, because people will still, if they click like Fox News, Jason was done as a pedo or whatever, right? It's still going to be there. They're not going to take that video down or whatever else. Like.
Plus, it doesn't matter. You know, people might read that and not read the bloody retraction. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the other thing that I don't understand why this is even a thing, or else I think that they should, in newspapers or whatever on the websites, these opinion pieces, that should be in big bold letters that this is somebody's opinion, this is not facts. Do you know what I mean? This is not based on any facts, like, because the problem is, again, most people, like I said before, about 25% of the world are fucking morons, like. They read something in the newspaper and think that's the gospel truth.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just some lad's opinion, he could be like me. Like last night I told a fella that I could fucking invent control something with my brain within a year. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just talking shit. Like, do you know what I mean? So
yeah. I've told you many times. I've kind of given up reading the sort of mainstream news. I'll read about sports and maybe stuff about like the environment or nature, but stuff about politics and that kind of stuff. It frustrates me because it's not like, I'm not that interested in it anyway. I know you probably should be interested in politics, but nah. But it's because it's because I don't know. It frustrates me because whatever you read, I realise now that it depends where it's come from or what the person's bias is or angle is. And so it frustrates me that when I get to the end, I'm like, okay, that was interesting. And if everything they said is true, then, that's horrific. But how do you know?
No.
I don't know.
Exactly.
So it just becomes like, and you can spend your whole day reading every newspaper, but you still, well, that's the best thing to do, isn't it, really? Read a couple of, few.
Well, I think if you want to try and get the opinion or like what the truth is, you almost have to go and watch one side's version and the other side's version, and then kind of come to a conclusion yourself.
Well, you have to start picking out all the bits that they both
match.
Said.
Yeah, there was a shooting in Christchurch, but this many people died, and that's it, right? That when they start going on, it's because he was Muslim, or it's because he was Catholic, or it was that's all them just guessing at that period of time, especially when something happens. So, but again, the problem is people. And I know I don't want to sound like Alex Jones or whatever else, but like a lot of it is. I'm not saying lies, but they're
Well, it's very easy to corrupt.
Yeah, and they're bending this. Like, it's very easy to insert a couple of words to make it look like you mean it in a certain direction, and then morons will go, oh yeah, they're on about, like, if you don't like Donald Trump, you're a lefty or whatever else. They're just, and now I think because the whole world has gone on this, the more clicks they get, the more, they just want clicks. So all their headlines are just like these clickbaity titles that suck you into the story. And when you read the story, it's not really what the headline said. You know what I mean? So
I often thought recently, if I'm reading a news story, if it has any adverbs in it, you know what I mean? Like the sort of ly words, like quickly, unfortunately, suddenly, regrettably.
Yeah.
If it has any adverbs in it, I'm like, well, now you just... Any adverb is you
that's a
making...
good way to, I was going to say that as well.
Any adverb is you kind of putting your own thoughts about how it happened. Yeah. And so I'm just like, leave your fucking adverb. I don't need to know.
Regrettably, or you know what I mean? Like,
I don't need to know. Unfortunately, then I don't need to know that. Unfortunately, but that's you saying it's unfortunate. Yeah. So,
and I will give. There's a couple of like media outlets here that like that's Tangin and a few other ones. I like reading their stories because their headline and the story is, you can see it's just facts. It's a bit boring, to be honest with you, because...
But that's what you want.
You're just getting numbers and figures or whatever. You're not getting like, and then he ran out the window and blah, blah, blah. There's just like, they just give the okay, there's 100 people dead or blah, blah, blah. There's nobody's opinion. It's just literally facts. Like, it's not going to win any Oscars or whatever the media's equivalent to that is, but like...
Well, but it's the news.
That's the way I think it should be, and I know that would be a bit boring, but the news should be a bit boring. It's just information. You shouldn't be.
I suppose it's it's at the mercy of everything else. They need to sell papers, so they like sensationalist things and they like strong opinions given them. And I guess, and then the other thing is people. I've noticed now people tend to, people buy the papers they like. They won't buy a paper they don't like because they just want to read what they want.
What they want to hear. Yeah. That's the other. Like what I found myself go through that in life as well. I kind of sway. I think I'm fairly central, right? But I kind of sway from one side to the other sometimes. But you do
like last night.
Yeah. What did I do last night?
Before you were sick.
All right. But
Sorry, go on.
Yeah,
I couldn't resist that one.
You
sway from left to right.
Yeah, I know I'm fucking... Oh, yeah, I got it. Sorry. So I kind of... But the main thing I always try to do is, there are some people like that I like, political commentators or whatever that I watch on YouTube that I don't agree with any of their opinions, but I'll still watch them because...
I want to hear it.
No matter... Exactly, and that's the other problem that what's happening now is they're banning people for saying things and stuff like that. That's a very dangerous road we're going down when I know YouTube and all these, they have the right, they're a private business, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but it's stupid hiding. Like, I'd rather hear a Nazi spouting about his hate about, people of colour or whatever. I'd rather hear that and,
than have it hidden away.
Exactly, because when it's hidden away, you don't know what the hell they're saying. Yeah. Whereas if you can see it, you just go, you can put a comment in there, you can dislike the video, you can go, oh, you're a fucking moron or whatever.
Well, we've put comments in Room 101 already, so you won't be doing that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I do understand what you mean. It's like, it's like being, what am I trying to say? It's being like it's being intolerant of intolerance. It's ridiculous. Yeah. That's insane, isn't it?
Exactly.
I like you said, I'd like to listen to someone that's talking absolute bollocks that I don't agree with, because I want to hear what is your justification for this opinion? How is your mind working?
And then you also, in a way, you kind of know what you're dealing with, and you can see it coming if it is going to come, right? Because you will like. Anybody that loses, a lot of these shootings in America, that when you see documentaries about them afterwards, you will see like a pattern of those kids did a certain, like they started posting videos on YouTube and they were kind of, if somebody had been watching it, they would have went, fuck yeah, they're up to something, like, do you know what I mean? But it's just the same with it, like if there's a lot of Nazis spouting some stuff on it, at least you might know, like, oh no, they're going to gather in some place and they're going to kick the shit out of a lot of people or whatever else. So, hiding it or blocking it and not leaving them do it is absolutely insane. As much as then on the other side, just to jump back on the shooting thing, the media make that worse by publishing the guy's name and all that. Because half the time these motherfuckers want to become famous, and they know they'll become famous if they go in and blow 30 people's heads off. And then that's the one good thing I'll give the BBC during the Troubles in Ireland. The BBC wouldn't, any of the guys that were like, whatever you want to call them, like the terrorist organisation leaders or whatever, the likes of Jerry Adams and them, right? They would block their faces out and they would distort their voices. I remember that, because it was they didn't want to show them as like a hero. They were going to martyrdise them to a certain amount of people, right? And I do think that was a good idea. And they did it for both sides. They didn't just do it on one side, like, but that is a good idea. Don't turn them into fucking heroes because that's what they want. That's what I mean.
It's not like, you're right. It's not that the media did anything to make that particular shooting worse. But what you've done is set up the next person because he knows he's going to go down in he's going to be famous. So you're just setting up the next person and the next person. The more coverage you give it. The other thing I've noticed about the media in general these days, obviously haven't been back to England for ages, but I notice now that like everyone in England is polarised. Everyone's suddenly into politics, and people fall out with each other over their political opinions. I never fall out with anyone over. It's just me. But I'm friends with I don't particularly agree with Donald Trump, but I'm friends with people who support Trump. I've heard of people like defriending people on Facebook. This is a thing. But I haven't got Facebook.
That is probably also social media needs to take a fair chunk of responsibility for that. But the mainstream media do as well.
Well, my point for this is, I've really noticed this change. It didn't used to be like this. I don't remember my friends being at each other's throats over supporting this party or this party. And then I watched that documentary about Facebook that you gave me. No, about social media. I can't remember what it's called now.
Social Dilemma.
Yeah, and they were saying, they've got these algorithms in place, so if they know what you're reading, they just send you news reports for that. You've noticed, not everybody, but these days, when you have a conversation with someone, people seem less inclined to listen to someone else's opinion. And I think it's because I think it might match up with this, that they get peppered with news reports that only support what they think. Yeah. So everybody thinks that's true. So and now you can see it happening. People argue with each other. No one wants to listen to fucking anyone else anymore. It's like you kind of. I think you're in my life from a whole perspective in the sense that. But I have some friends that I can't meet them if somebody else is there. I won't mention names now, but. There's certain people that I know I'll have to meet them separately because you can't have them around each other, right? I just think that, and it is politically fueled as well. It's I do understand that your beliefs, and if I'm sitting next to someone in a pub who's saying gay people should be shot, or obviously that's not the kind of person I really want to hang out with that much. Yeah, but it's like. Well, it's still someone's opinion. Yeah. I'm not saying. I don't understand why people will, and that's just like, I'm talking about someone you met in a pub, so that's different. You can just go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But I'm talking about people that have been friends for years, and then if they voted for Trump, they now don't speak to each other. To me, that is insane. That's ridiculous. Why can't you talk to each other about it instead? It's
this one person that I know, he has said some horrible things about, other races and about homosexuals and stuff like that, which I absolutely don't agree with him at all. And I basically say to him, look, mate, I don't really want to talk to you about this. Now's not the time and the place. There's other people here. There's people like that here, And I'm not saying that I go hide in the corner and then talk to him about it, but I don't want to hear it but then on the other hand, he has awesome things to say about music, and when you actually dig deeper, it's a fear and it's an ignorance thing with him. He hasn't been exposed to these type of people before, and he just was used to people of the same type as him saying shit to him. But I think the longer he's here, the more he's starting to see that his ideas are wrong.
Well, I will always like someone, even if they vehemently disagree with someone, that they'll at least just talk to them. Yeah. Let's not close the lines of communication.
No, exactly.
Anyway, I suppose we might go off the point a bit. But
but that is. I suppose. But again,
that's what the media is doing.
It is doing that. But they are the ones that are. It is why half of America believe that you should wear masks and half of them don't believe it. It is because of the likes of them. Like Fox News will tell you, no, this is bullshit or whatever else. CNN will tell you, no, it's true. So half the population is basically split. Roughly half the population is split.
So it just depends what.
And
What fucking idiot is sitting in the corner of your room in a square box talking at you all night? That's
literally
fine.
like whichever one you like. Yeah. And then it always turns out that most of them then always turn out to be the seediest motherfuckers on the planet. Like, you know, you find out like 10 years later that they were either like a child molester or they were like a womanizer or, you know, some weird shit. Like, there's a lot of them that I won't mention names in case I'm wrong, but there's a lot of them that, like, so they're hard. These news anchors are like, they're so fake as well. You know what I mean?
I don't know why you'd like listen to someone like that and base it. You know, and I read somewhere, I might not be true now, but I think it was in America, but they said it was something ridiculous, like 50% of the population find out about world affairs from celebrities.
Yeah. But that's when I think of it, like, that is scary that people are basically, you know what I mean?
It's mad, isn't it?
Who gives a shit what Beyonce thinks about?
Well, her opinion's no more important than, like, you know, yours. Or
no, it isn't. Like, just because she's famous doesn't mean that her opinions works more.
But that's the problem with the media. They get the exposure, so that's what people are exposed to.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I mean, of course.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but I just thought that this court case has been pending for a while. I needed to bang them in there at some stage. So
yeah, let's put them in there. Yeah. All right, they've gone. Cheers, mate.
See ya. Okay, snacks unknown.
And it's a beauty. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
You will have heard of this already. I know it's kind of been a big thing in China, but I just thought we'd do it. I know we were talking a little bit about it, but I think you'll be able to guess as soon as you see it.
I have. Why did you have to get from two separate KFCs?
No, I'm just going to tell you now. Yeah. Oh, let me explain what it is first, shall I? Well, it's KFC.
I think I know what it's going to be.
You know what it's going to be. The KFC in China have released like a new product, and it looks well weird. It's they've like reversed it, so it's I think it's like a waffle. One of them's a waffle in between two chicken burgers.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no bread. The bread is the chicken.
They have a name on it, don't they? I'm just trying to find it there.
I've forgotten. But one of them's got like a waffle in the middle of two pieces of chicken, and one of them's got some bacon and pineapple in between two pieces of chicken.
So they're using the chicken as the bread, basically.
So it looks well. I mean, the chicken obviously going to be good, but the fillings look well weird to me. Now the other thing was, it must be popular because I went to try and order it from KFC, and I went to one KFC, and they had one, but the other one was sold out.
Oh, fucking hell.
So I ordered one from one KFC, and then I ordered another driver to go to another KFC, and in the other KFC, the other one was sold out.
Okay.
So I was very lucky to even get fucking hold of two of them.
Jesus Christ.
So I had two drivers bring...
The double down, that's called.
The double down.
The double down. Yeah, so it looks like, as you said, one is with a waffle and one is with a bacon and pineapple.
Yeah, so I had one driver bring
both
one.
Are about as appealing to me now as a shit on a plate.
I don't really think I'm going to eat them all.
Fucking hell, it looks pretty decent.
Of course, I mean, the chicken will be amazing, of course, right?
Yeah.
It's just what they've got there. What's inside.
That's a chunky baby.
It's pretty hearty, isn't it? I'm going to cut it in half so we can try a little bit. This one's the waffle one. Seems to have some kind of sauce on it. All right, you want to go?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have to eat it all, but
cheers.
Let's try it.
Nice, still hot anyway.
That's good.
That's going to help.
So this one's got looks like sort of sweet waffle in the middle of it.
The chicken's alright. The thing in the middle does nothing for it. Like,
I think that would be great if it didn't have that sweet sauce. It's like a sort of sweet mayonnaise, isn't it?
I reckon if there was a hash brown in between that, now it would be way better.
Oh, I just ruined it with that sweet mayonnaise.
It's not bad though. I thought it'd be vile, but it's actually pretty good.
I would fucking nail that if it didn't have that sweet shit all over, in my opinion. It's just a disappointing choice from KFC. Just mayonnaise would have been great, I think. It's good.
I like it.
Yeah. I think it's good. Guess we've got to try the other one as well then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good apart from the sweet sauce. It's useless.
Do you know what? It's growing on me. I actually kind of like it.
I mean, obviously, late night wouldn't even matter. Just destroy it.
Although, full disclosure, I'm a tad hungover, so I probably would eat anything that was deep fried.
This one obviously looks very similar. It's got a big I know how we both feel about pineapple, but we've got to try it. So
I like pineapple as a standalone fruit, but
so yeah, it's got one pineapple ring and some pretty sad looking bacon. Again, I think this one will be fucking great as well, if it just didn't have pineapple on it. That's what I think.
So this is the chicken with pineapple.
Yeah, and bacon.
Yeah, that pineapple does not just. Why do people put pineapple on savoury food? Like,
exactly the same. I'd nail that.
The chicken is delicious.
If it didn't have pineapple, yeah.
The chicken is absolutely delicious, and it's spicy, but it's not too spicy. But that pineapple just makes the crust soggy, and then it has that disgusting sweetness to it.
I just don't understand why you want to eat sweet stuff with meat, or with chicken in general, but just meat in general. I don't understand.
I don't mind like a sweet kind of like a barbecue sauce,
like a honey glaze.
Yeah, that's fine. But like when it's sweet, like sugar sweet, you're like, nah, I don't want that.
Just like just fruit. I mean, that sweet mayonnaise. They just fucked it up with one ingredient.
Yeah, they went one ingredient too far on board.
Every single one of them would be great. I suppose you could order one and take it off, but that sauce is just all over it.
I prefer the first one to the second one. The pineapple. There's Burger King put a pineapple on one of their burgers as well, and it's just like it ruins everything because it makes the bun soggy.
Yeah,
it has that sweet tang to it, and it's just.
Well, you're right. The first one, I mean, chicken and waffles is like a well-known thing, isn't it? I kept thinking that's a great sort of texture to have in the middle of two pieces of chicken, but it's fucking sweet sauce.
Yeah, the waffle one is nicer for sure.
I used to think that about. Do you remember that sandwich shop, Pret a Manger?
Yeah,
I used to think that about that sandwich shop. I used to think it all the time. I used to go in and go. I used to look at every sandwich and go, they're all brilliant apart from one fucking thing. Every single sandwich has got one thing in it that you're just like, why? Why?
For me, it's normally avocado or something. You're just like, why did you put that in?
Exactly, something like that. Yeah. It's like everything else is brilliant.
I don't mind avocado on its own again, but I hate it in anything.
They always try to fancy it up just a little bit too much, I think. All right, so very good. KFC.
Yeah, when I
one step too far.
I texted to you during the week that this thing was out, and I was actually.
Well, I watched another video of someone eating it.
Okay. On the Beijing thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I was quite pleasantly. I was surprised. I thought I'd hate it, to be honest, but it was
no, I liked it, but I thought I wouldn't like it, to be honest with you. But the first one I thought was pretty good.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Not bad, KFC. Keep trying.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, so Q&A, this is where we try and find out a bit more about each other. What did we do last time?
That's a good question.
Was it like a movie plan?
Oh, yeah. It was my one. I gave if you were to produce a movie, basically.
Yeah, that was fun, that one. All right, well, so I've got... are we going to do all three of the questions?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, well, this one is just kind of like, rather than like, what would you do? What would you do? I just thought we'd hopefully hear a few interesting anecdotes perhaps from each other. But so my first question was, which I'm quite interested to know actually, it was what was the first concert you ever attended?
Mm-hmm.
What can you remember about it? Who was it?
Yeah.
Over to you, mate.
So the first one I'm going to say, I kind of can't class it as my first concert because I don't actually remember it because I was that young. I think my parents brought me to Van Morrison.
Oh, really?
When I was really, I think I was only a toddler, and I got to meet him. There's a picture of me somewhere, like he's shaking my hand, and I'm only a tiny little fella. Mm-hmm. But I cannot remember that at all, so I don't really count that. And then the first two, I can't remember which one came first, but my mum and dad brought me to Bruce Springsteen and Deep Purple, but I can't remember which one was the first one. I want to say it was the Bruce Springsteen, so I'll say Bruce Springsteen.
Wow! So your first concert
in Rotterdam, in Holland, it was
that's a pretty cool
phenomenal.
One.
Like,
yeah.
I remember.
So how old were you then?
I 8 or 9,
and you can still really remember it.
Yeah, clear as day, because I remember my brother started crying because it was in this Feyenoord, the football team stadium, and we were up kind of, I want to say, like the halfway line kind of thing, up fairly high in the stands. But there was two kids, and like we obviously loved like Born in the USA and stuff like that when you're young, But and like there was two kids around our own age, Dutch kids, in front of us. But they sang every word to every song, and they couldn't sing for shit. So my brother was getting really riled up about it. Like he was, I think he cried. I think he did cry. He was like, "Will you ever fucking shut the fuck up? I want to listen to." He had a good point, like in fairness, but
that's funny because. Yeah, I've just reminded myself of another concert I went to where I was doing the same thing and like annoying a lot of people, but that's kind of by the by. But so Bruce Springsteen.
I think it was Bruce Springsteen. If not, it was Deep Purple. Which, to be honest with you,
you've seen some cool stuff.
Yeah, my mum and dad were big into music, like so. We were very lucky. I even had that discussion with Nichols last night. It was like we were so lucky when we were growing up.
Yeah, that's cool.
My mum would be cleaning the house to Bob Marley, like, and then my dad would be fixing the car to fucking Led Zeppelin or something like that. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, I mean, like, I think my mum obviously does have taste in music, but when my dad was alive, he was like, we always had to listen to the tunes he was listening. But that's why I love him now. Dire Straits,
like
Tina Turner, fucking what else did you like? Fucking Chris Rea, like yeah. Well, I guess the first concert I ever went to, I can remember. I reckon I might have been about 14,
okay,
or maybe 15. I was quite young, and but I went with my mates in. I did go to like this sort of. They had these sort of techno parties called Mega Dogs in Manchester. And I remember I went to. I can't remember which one was first, but I think that one was second. But that was kind of like a rave more than. But the first concert I went to, I think the first people I saw were the Levelers.
Okay,
do you know the Levelers?
Yeah, of course.
I used to love them when I was younger. Loved them. And I still love them now. I listened to the album the other day. It's brilliant. The first two albums are great. And I remember I was about 14 or 15. I think they were supported by... There was definitely a group called Papa Brittle. And I remember because I was quite young, but the guy was shouting and screaming about the criminal justice bill. Okay. I don't know if you remember. There was a big thing that came out in England that like outlawed music that was over a certain BPM.
Jesus.
And gatherings. It was to combat the rave culture. And so they brought out this thing just
like beats per minute.
Part of it did, yeah.
Fucking hell. And they say China is fucking an oppressive country.
That was mental. The criminal justice bill was like a big thing because it was purely directed at dance music and sort of travelling communities, which the Levelers kind of were part of. And so I remember he was screaming about that, and it made me go home and like sort of read it. I was like, what is he talking about? I'd maybe go and read about it. So I remember. I think they were also supported by Chumbawamba.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, I know you're going to laugh because they do that
which is terrible.
But they were actually a very good band before that.
Okay.
And then they went all...
commercial.
But they were actually very good. And it was fucking brilliant. I just remember I was right down the front. We got there early, totally crushed in for the whole... It was like a real, fucking crazy, not like a mosh pit, but like really sort of mental, and a fucking massive eye opener when I was 14, 15 years old,
Cool.
So that was good. Second question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I said. Was there my second question? What was the best concert?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
All right,
again, this was a struggle because I there's been so many, but I narrowed it down to two. One was not for... Basically, I went to Oasis, but it wasn't because of Oasis.
Oh, that must have been pretty good.
It was. They were good. I tell you, they cocked up a little bit. But what I actually didn't really go for Oasis, to be honest with you. Prodigy were playing before them, so that's who I actually went to see. And Prodigy stole the fucking show. Like it was phenomenal. Like it was where it was in Cork. Cork's GAA, the hurling stadium.
That's not a bad concert. Prodigy and Oasis,
amazing.
Back in the 90s,
it was a big stadium, like it was, and it was fucking jammed as well. And it was, but it's during the day. But seeing the Prodigy live was just fucking mind blowing.
I can imagine that was good. Yeah,
the Oasis came on and fucking remember Neil Gallagher.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the wrong way to do it because, at least with dance music, that I remember that the music kind of gets harder and harder as the night goes on. So to have the Prodigy and then go to a guitar band is a bit of an odd way.
It was a bit of a come down to me because I like Oasis. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're pretty good. But I think it started getting dark toward it would have. But then I think more people were there for Oasis, in fairness, than there was for Prodigy. But anyway,
I think that's quite a strange matchup.
It is a very weird matchup. There was somebody else there as well. I can't remember who the other one was. But I think for the main one that I can remember most is the first one that I was kind of allowed to go to on my own. Well, they dropped me off and picked me up.
That's what happened at the Levelers. I was dropped off and picked up. My mum went to see Forrest Gump and then came back. So whenever that came out, that was the day. That was the year. So.
Pearl Jam I seen them in Middleton.
You saw that?
Yeah. What I was blown away by was, do you know some bands when you hear them live, if you're only after hearing their like studio albums and then you hear them live, they can be I won't say shit, but they can be a bit like croaky or like their voices are not as good, and they were fucking better than what they were better live than what their recorded music is.
That's when you know a good band, I think. Yeah. Because the levelers are like that.
David Gray is another one that I know he's a bit like, remember David Gray, right?
I think I remember, yeah.
He sounds exactly like he does on the albums. Like it's almost, you almost don't believe that he's that good.
That shows a lot of talent.
But like I can remember the place was jumping like in his. You know, you're excited because I would think it was only 15 or 16 or something, and you're there on your own. And I was with friends, but like. Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool.
And like Pearl Jam were fucking amazing. Like,
I think they would have been a great band to see live.
Amazing. But there's been others as well. But like I think they're the two top highlight ones that I can remember.
I guess the Levelers were a really good live band. I saw them like about 3 times, I think. But like I said, I think once I got to the age where I could go to concerts, I was more into going to nightclubs. Yeah. So I don't think I've been to a lot of concerts really. Okay. But I would go to festivals like Creamfields and stuff, and I go to nightclubs and that kind of thing. But I think so. Most of my concerts when I went to was a bit younger. It's before I got more into. So the other concert I went to, again, I was only about 15 or 16, and my mum, bless her, drove us all the way to. I think it was like not Aberdeen. It was just outside Glasgow. It was all the way up to Scotland, basically, for Tea in the Park, a festival called Tea in the Park. Mm-hmm. And so obviously, I guess not a concert.
Festival. Yeah.
But again, the Levelers played there too, and they were amazing. But I'll never forget being in a crowd of like however many thousands of people, and Rage Against the Machine played, and they were just fucking out of this world, like absolutely out of this world. And again, I was only a kid. With like 2 of my little mates from high school, Ben Ganatiuk and Martin Dewhurst.
Shout out.
Still remember their names. Mm-hmm. And we were just, it was the most amazing thing ever. Like when you feel like you're not even jumping. The crowd's just picking you up. And it was like you went between worried and fucking seriously excited. Like I didn't know what was going to happen next. Like it was crazy. Yeah. And then Rage Against the Machine went off. And the next band on was supposed to be Cypress Hill. Mm. And Cypress Hill were late. This guy came on, so everyone was getting a bit edgy. We had to wait like half an hour. They were trying to come from the airport, but then when they finally arrived, it almost made it better. Like the sort of the surge of energy from the crowd when they walked on, and like the fucking roar. I'll never forget. My mum said I could hear it from the car park. She was just waiting in the car park for us to come out, and they came on and they were like smoking weed or whatever they do and saying, hello, glass gal, or whatever, saying things the wrong way. And then they said, we're so sorry for being late. The airplane was late, so we're going to do a special treat for you. And the Rage Against the Machine came back on, and they did A to the K together before Cypress Hill did their tune. And it was just like 2 of the greatest fucking hours. When I was a teenager, like, even now, it gives me goosebumps. Like, even now, I'd go and watch that. But when I was a teenager, they were like my favourite fucking bands, and they played together and at the same time. It was fucking unbelievable. I remember. So that's the one I remember mostly. The other one I was talking about when you were saying about your brother crying was I went to see Simon and Garfunkel in Hyde Park in London. I read that they don't speak to each other, but so they can, if they don't, it's something like you have to perform your material live. If you don't perform it live for 20 years, they lose their rights to it or something. Okay. Something like that. So they were like forced almost to this concert, but everyone went to see him, so they stood at either end of the stage. They never spoke to each other.
No way.
But they obviously did a brilliant performance, but they never fucking spoke to each other or looked at each other.
Jesus Christ.
But they just have to do this so they don't lose these rights. But I was so hammered at this concert that like I just like ruined it for so many people. Me and my other mate were like jumping around, like singing along. I hardly remember any of it, but my other...
They're not really that kind of a band.
Exactly. Like. Exactly. Everyone else there was like middle-aged and like old people. Well, like 60 years old, and there was just me, and then me and like a couple of my mates just like totally leathered in the middle of it all.
They do Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, or that one, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, they did all the classics.
Can't really see it jumping around to that.
Exactly, mate. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that I had a mate who didn't go and he was at work and he said, when they play Mrs. Robinson,
that's a good song.
He said, just call me and let me listen. And somehow I remembered. And when I got back to work the next day, he was like, do you remember calling me? And I was like, did I call you? And he was like, yeah, you called me. It was fucking hilarious. He said I could hear Mrs. Robinson, but all I could hear was this person going, will you shut the fuck up? Like on the phone. And he said he could just hear me going, I've paid me fucking money, mate. I'll do what I fucking like. It's like arguing with some like they've probably been waiting like 40 years or something to see these two, and then they ended up stood next to me. Fucking hell, poor bastards. So I apologise to those people, whoever they were.
I think in some concert I actually turned around to two girls and told them to shut the fuck up as well. Yeah, because they were fucking
so. I mean, I feel bad. It's so selfish.
It was either Eric Clapton or Neil Young. Where there was in Cork at one stage did this festival thing, and I kind of actually was loads of really top names, but I think it was Neil Young, and the two of them were texting, or they were either texting or phoning somebody similar to that now, but they just didn't stop talking to each other for the whole and like.
What are you doing?
I just turned around and went like, "Are you not into this or whatever?" Like, and they kind of went, "No, what?" It's like because I said you're kind of ruining it for people around you, like, do you know what I mean? And they were like, they were apologetic. They were like, "Oh, sorry," and then they went out to the bar. Probably fucking hate me, but I don't give a shit. Like, I think it was because like concerts are not cheap. Like, I didn't pay fucking like €90 or whatever to go and listen to these two twats talk.
No, that's what I mean. Like, when I think back to it now, like I was having a whale of a time because I was hammered. The only reason I was hammered was because we bought like. I think we bought like 4 cans each to take in. Then when we got to the door, they said you're not allowed to drink your beer in.
So you had to get in them.
We all just nailed like 4 cans of beer in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And we'd been at the pub already.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll tell you the most disappointing concert I went to, that I thought it was a little bit disappointing, was I went to see Run DMC. You know that yeah,
I know them, yeah.
That rap group.
Never really into them
before the guy died. And it was pretty disappointing, to be honest. It was the hip hop DJ they had on before was brilliant.
Yeah.
Then they came on. They only played about 40 minutes and then just fucked off. And some guy jumped on the stage, got overexcited, and they all battered him on stage. Like this guy just got battered in front of us, like security and Run DMC. We're just kicking shit at this dude on stage. It was a real kind of odd concert. It was an odd concert, mate. You know,
to be honest, I've never been to a hip hop or rap concert, but I've seen a lot of them on TV. They never really. They're not that good. I don't think they're
better in the studio.
Yeah, definitely. Because a lot of these guys, they don't really have great voices. So I think the studio engineers are like tweaking their voices a lot and stuff like that.
I totally agree with that. But Cypress Hill were very good. And
Cypress Hill would be good, all right.
And I tell you another band that were very good. And I do agree with what you say about hip hop. You know, rapping sometimes sounds a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, but if they don't like Biggie, had a good voice, and Snoop was good as well. But I've heard Snoop once or twice do it live, and you're kind of going, it's not that good, like.
No, but I'd say the one hip hop group that really, I saw Public Enemy, and they were a bit sketchy, to be honest. And I saw De La Soul at like an anti-Nazi, a free concert in London in Victoria Park, and they were. Amazing.
Okay. Yeah, they seemed like, they were rapping, but it was almost like singing as well, though.
You could just tell they'd been doing this shit for years.
Yeah,
and they were so fucking tight, you know. And there's a few of them, and but they were just so tight, you know. What I mean, it was like you said, it was like listening to a CD.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a good trip down memory lane. Anyway, just some good times there. But yeah, so all right, Q&A finished. Cheers.
Slang Wars.
Slang Wars.
Fucking Slang Wars, baby.
8-5 is the current score. We're going to 15, so you only need 7.
Could get there.
Yeah, it's first to 15, isn't it?
What's a possible 6 points tonight? Is that right? Possible.
A possible 6 points.
Could be up to 14.
Yeah.
Probably not, but we'll see. See how it goes. Always feel confident.
Okay.
Is it Cork again?
It is not. I decided to.
I'm kind of happy to be veering away from because I've not had a lot of luck with Cork recently.
Yeah, but this could either be I need you basically to score as little as possible, obviously.
Yeah.
This could either work or it could be a complete failure now as well, because that's the only thing because I'm not from there, I found these and I didn't really know what they meant, like, so I'm hoping you won't as well, but who knows, right? But I'm going to Louisiana. Nolans. So, man, they're
I just imagine this would be they like the Cajun people, aren't they?
Yeah. So a lot of them are have like a French influence. I think the ones I'm giving you, but a lot of the ones that I didn't bother doing them because there were because they have a French origin. They were, you'd have to know French and stuff like that. So it was a bit. I was like, no, I'll steer away from that.
I know a bit of French, mate. Studied French till I was 18.
Oh, you did? Cool. Okay, we'll crack into the first one. The first one is Jigga. Sounds like the N-word.
Jigga. Jigga.
Yeah.
That's a word that is
shit.
No, that's a word that's very well. No, the thing is, that's a word that's very common in slang in England and all around the world. I was just watching something about the word jigger,
okay.
and but it has so many fucking meanings.
All right. Okay.
It has so many.
No, this has a specific one, and they also call Baton Rouge Jigga Town as well because of it. But that's all I'll say.
All right. Well, you see, I want to go for one that I seem to remember my dad telling me something that it meant. I think it was like. Something that Liverpudlian people use, but I could be completely wrong now.
Jigga.
Yeah. But they call it Baton Rouge Jigga Town. I think it might be something to do with boats.
No, it is not.
So
do I give you a sentence or do I?
I guess I'll have a guess, won't I? Is it? Fuck, I don't know that much about it. Is it like? No, just give me a sentence. There's no meaning of a point in even getting.
She's gone to buy some jiggas for the weekend.
Oh, I'm completely at a loss.
Good. This one, I thought you were going to get this one, to be honest. Especially when you said you heard it. Because seemingly it was a rapper from down one of these little fucking little Snoop or whatever.
Boots.
No. So it's ecstasy tablets. They're a big ecstasy town, seemingly.
Oh, all right.
That's good.
I'm gutted about that. Never heard that meaning of it. But
Baton Rouge, Jigga Town. Okay, good.
Jigga Town. No, I was thinking. I know it's like a big sort of festival party town.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Louisiana. Like what in New Orleans they have what do they call it? Mardi Gras, is it? I'd love to go to that. And my mum and dad went there and they said the music scene there is and I know you wouldn't like it, but like every bar has live music.
Oh,
so it's probably hell for you.
I probably need a couple.
I think if you know that,
I think if I had a couple of jiggers, I'd be alright.
That's why I thought you might have heard it.
No.
Okay, the next one is
shit. Okay, I'll deal with 12 points. Go
on. A Louisiana mud dog.
Mud dog.
Yeah.
A Louisiana mud dog. Someone who lives in a swamp.
No. So every morning he drops a Louisiana mud dog before he goes to work.
A shit.
Yes, shit. That was too easy. Yeah.
Oh.
So 1 point.
I'll probably have to do a mud dog after that KFC fucking creation.
And the last one, which is my personal favourite, a swamp zombie.
Oh, I feel like I've heard this before. A swamp zombie is an alligator.
No. So she's very pretty, but she's a swamp zombie when it comes down to it. I loved it. I'm gonna, if I have to give you the description or what it is, I'm gonna read it out.
A slag?
No. It's an unresponsive sex partner found in the bayous of Louisiana who makes unappealing, loud noises constantly, not necessarily during sex. Basically, like fucking a bag of spuds, we'd say, like, you know. So that's what a swamp zombie is, an unresponsive sex partner.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I feel like I've missed a few tricks here.
Yes, 9. So that's 9-5, is it?
Swamp zombie, yeah.
Yeah, that keeps you within range.
All right, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
No, 9-5.
9-5, yeah. 1.
All right. Slang wars.
Slang wars. I reckon I would have got it. I reckon I could have got you 0 there if I hadn't been. I think I was. I couldn't come up.
I'd never have got that mud dog if you hadn't said that.
Yeah. I was all afternoon. I was thinking I have to word that different. I was like, but I didn't want to just go. He produced a mud dog.
You could have said like, I really need a mud dog.
Yeah, that would have been better. All right, for
I
sure.
might have still got it, but yeah. All right, not bad.
Okay.
Interesting, Louisiana slang. Hopefully, I'll never meet a swamp zombie. All right, cool. So we're on to current affairs now.
Yeah.
News story of the week, and
what you got for us?
pretty mad one this week. It's been a big story in China. Obviously, this will be coming out in a little bit. Died down a bit, I guess, by the time this comes out. But yeah, it's kind of it's rock China. I guess I'll try and explain. I don't totally understand the idea of it myself, or the problems, or why it happened, or what the fuck's going on. But there was a woman, and she was the head or principal, I guess, of a vocational college in China, and they produced a paper last week. And it was about how her students had used the powers of their mind to make an egg that had already been boiled, hatch a chick. Did you?
Yeah, Richard sent this to their group chat recently.
Yeah. I'd read it before he sent it, but it was just like, so yeah, that's what she did, and it was published in like an academic journal. I think it was called Pictorial Geography.
From what I can remember, that she like made a couple of students bring like 20 eggs back to their house, and
is that right?
And I think like, but even the students were a bit dubious because they weren't even sure if they had been boiled and stuff. You know what I mean? They didn't really know.
Surely you can tell if an egg's been boiled.
No, but I think I no, but like, do you know what I mean? Like when they hatched, they were like, oh, maybe the egg wasn't boiled. They didn't really. It seemed like they didn't really know why they were doing. I don't think they were aware that they were like, this is what the aim of the fucking thing was. Like,
either way, the whole thing's just mad as fuck.
Yeah, I think that, like I said it to you earlier when we mentioned it to me, I think this woman's career must be over. Like, I mean,
I can't believe. First, I don't even know what this college is, but but now she's claiming they've got these mind powers and they can do this stuff. And it was published in this thing, but it's become a big thing because apparently now it was in a real academic journal, and that's been shut down now. This college has been shut down, and they're saying, how could this possibly have been published?
Yeah, because I'm not that familiar with the world of academia, but like Richard, our mate, like publishes a lot of papers, but he was telling me like before that, like, to get a paper like published, like a lot of people have to read it. And
that's what they said. They said they're getting done because they didn't go through this review process. Apparently, it seems that someone paid for it to be in there.
Okay.
But again,
but why is
what reason? For what reason?
What's the better know. Like? What's that like? You have egg regret. It's like, oh shit! I shouldn't have boiled it. I should have hatched the chicken. Like, what's the fucking even purpose of it? Like, even if
exactly.
Let's say she could do it. Like, why would you even go down that road? Like, what's the point in that? Like,
it says it was in Jilin, and they said this investigation said that they'd illegally accepted payment for publishing this article. But I guess maybe she paid. I don't know. Who would pay? What?
But what
benefits
in
you get?
The article, she says like it happened because my students have superpowers.
Yeah.
I just got this vision of the X-Men or something like this.
It's ridiculous. But it said there's been a follow-up story, and it says now that they've she said some other mad shit.
Okay,
it's not just this. Apparently, she's made some other kind of crazy claims. Apparently, she said. She's published previous papers, including how to grow sprouts from cooked beans. And how to make objects go through walls. She's also done papers on these as well. So for a start, she'd been getting. Why was the egg one the hair that broke the camel's back?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And also the other thing is like, yeah, just like I said, I'm just relaying everything we know about this story, and it's like a big thing in China. I think everyone's angry because they're saying it's kind of making a mockery of like academic,
which it is. Like, I mean, it's a complete joke. Like,
it's insane. It's absolutely.
But they take that stuff like really serious here because
but I don't. Like, I'm wondering like what her college is involved with. Is she? Is this? Are students going to read this and think? Oh, that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in growing chickens from.
But this is I don't like.
What's it all about?
Most papers have like a direction of like or a purpose. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to solve something or.
It's just a lunatic writing things.
Yeah, this is just
magazines. That's all it is.
Did anybody even ask for this? Like, it's like
I know, yeah.
Eggs are not that expensive. I don't think eggs are a problem in the world, or hatching chickens isn't really an issue.
What you say is exactly right. Let's say, for argument's sake, that this could be done.
Why?
Exactly. Why? Once you've cooked
the only
an
thing
egg, why would you cook an egg and then go? Actually,
I hatched the fucking chicken.
Actually, what I wanted was a chicken.
Yeah, it's total insanity. Like.
It is insane. I mean, that's basically the story. I suppose. I mean, there's not much you can say. I don't know, what you can. The pictures of her are great. She looks so proud, doesn't she?
She looks mad as a brush, to be honest with you.
But she's like really proud. She's obviously like we've done a lot of work on this.
Yeah.
We've followed on from growing sprouts from cooked beans, which was it was an achievement, but it wasn't what we were looking for. What we were looking for was why not just use it? Why don't you just?
It's
so many questions.
It's just mad.
So many questions. We've got eggs. We know what eggs do. Eggs hatch chickens. Then if you cook them, you can eat them. Why are you fucking about with that? There's just no need.
There was in America. I think a couple of years back, there were lads that were publishing papers to try and point out how crazy like this whole social justice thing had gone. And the being offended and all this stuff. So what they did, one of the first papers they did is they took Hitler's book Mein Kampf and changed, basically almost word for word, changed it from Jews to feminists or something like that, right? Or
I think I might have heard that.
And like they got it through all the approval parts and blah blah blah, like. Because people were like, "Oh, this is amazing! This is so true. Everything he's saying is true." But you know what I mean. And then they did another one where about a dog that they claimed that the dog was after being raped in a park, right? And that rape was not just for humans. That it's a problem that animals get raped and it's their owner's fault and stuff like that, right? Again, got through and people were taking it so fucking serious, but these guys were. They were literally doing it to show that the system is flawed, you know what I mean? They weren't doing it to hurt anybody or anything.
It's to show you that, it's just to show you that, I guess, even when you're reading something in an academic journal, just have a look, think about what else can get through.
Exactly, because, I think you can't really get away with that with the sciences and with engineering. Well, obviously this woman tried it with science, but I think even a high school kid knows that you can't produce a chicken from a cooked egg. I don't think.
Well, apparently she's apologised.
Okay, but I think she's done. I don't how can anybody ever take her serious again?
Yeah, the whole thing's just so mad. I mean, it said that it had been found for accepting illegal payments. Now, I don't know who was paying for it, unless it was her.
Big Egg, maybe. Big Egg Company.
I don't know, yeah.
But again, why? Why would you,
Who the fuck was paying for it? Yeah, I don't know. Unless it was her. And, like I said, if she's paying to get that in and thinking, all I need to do is get it in, and then everyone will see how important it is, then she's obviously mad as a bag of snakes. And the other thing is that the journal that accepted the payment, surely... I mean, okay, you made a bit of money, but surely, someone was going to read this and go, What's this, mate?
But this might open up a can of worms. Maybe this is happening all the time, you know, and this is just one that was so freaking ridiculous that they were like, no.
Well, it does make you wonder. Yeah.
Because I do know, like, a lot, like, we talked about it before, I think that, like, you know, tobacco companies and sugar companies and stuff did pay for research to be done.
Yeah.
And they wanted the paper to basically point out that, no, smoking's grand for you, or, like, eating tons of sugar is no problem, you know, blah, blah, blah. But this one, I just cannot comprehend where they were going with this one.
It's
like,
beggars belief.
Who does it benefit? Like, it benefits nobody. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
As I said, there's that part, and then there's also the part where I don't know how the paper thought. Like, surely they must. Any normal person would think if one person reads that, they're gonna go, no,
this is harsh shit. Like,
what are you talking
but
about?
it could also
it
be
was just going to slip through. Well, let's make a bit of money and it'll slip through. No one will notice.
But it could also be pointing out a bigger problem that, like, people are just writing papers now for the sake of writing papers and, you know, getting paid to do them, and then just people are not reading them or something like that. You know, I don't know.
Well, I guess maybe. Yeah,
like,
I guess, you need to keep publishing things, don't you, to keep you. I don't know. Maybe if you're getting grants or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I think there's like.
But she's so proud of it. She's so proud of it. She's like,
I bet she's not proud today, though.
No,
she's fucking sitting at home going, why the hell did I do that?
Yeah, she's having a terrible weekend.
I would imagine this is...
Anyway, so that was I think that was basically seems to be the biggest story going around China at the moment, definitely. I know everyone seems to have heard of it, but...
I couldn't believe it when I seen it. Like, I did think it was... I did have to look and see was it April 1st or something, because it was like... The minute you hear somebody saying it's because my students have superpowers, you're like, okay.
I wonder what our students thought. They must have been like...
I do remember... I don't think I read the whole article, but I remember reading the bit where the students were told to take like 20 eggs home or something like that, and that one or two of them did hatch, but they weren't even sure to begin with if they were boiled or not. Like, they didn't really look into that or whatever. I can't remember the details of it now, but it was...
But anyway,
it's insanity.
Yeah, I guess that's the news story. You know, like I said, I guess normally our news stories, they will lead on to like another discussion. There really is no other discussion with it. I just wanted to, you know, to let people around the world know this is going on. This is happening. This shit.
Yeah, it's mad.
All right, yeah, that's the news story. Current affairs.
Cool.
Eggs.
All right. Cool. So that's episode 13 done.
Yep.
And like we were saying earlier, that's the last of this format. We'll be moving on to our next album, as we say.
Yeah. So we're kind of looking forward to that, aren't we? Adapting a little bit. We'll put a few videos out, see how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just we want to try and keep it as fresh as possible, and I think.
Well, I think we were both a little bit against the video thing, weren't we? I just think we both didn't want to show our faces, but why not?
Yeah.
Let's have a go.
No, but the interesting thing is, like, from the feedback I'm getting off people is like it's a mixture of some people do only want something that they can pop their headphones in and go for a jog or something like that, and other people do want videos. So I think the way we're heading is the right direction, because we're kind of solving both problems in one go, you know. Yeah. And we're going to aim to try and definitely get something out every week, you know, whether it be a full podcast or one video or something, so that it's more fluid, like, whereas there has been a few weeks now that it's gone 2 weeks, and this one's nearly 3 weeks. So it's So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah. All right, mate. It's been a pleasure. As always, very good.
See you next time.